welcome back to my channel. I'm alive. I feel about 10% better. So I was able to sit up and I had some oatmeal. And I like with fresh blueberries in it. Jimmy puts the Swerve brown sugar and cinnamon in it when he cooks it. And or you could put whatever sweetener in it while he cooks it. And then we put cream and blueberries in it. It's really good. I was trying to tell you guys that my friend Bobby used to put coffee creamer in his oatmeal to give it different flavors. So that's just an idea for you. But I thought since I was up a little bit that maybe we'd fold some laundry and visit a little bit. If you guys don't mind me turning away from the camera from time to time, because when I fold laundry, I have to look at the laundry sometimes. These, by the way, are the best things that God ever created for cold feet. Or God ever had humans create for cold feet. I'm going to put the sockies here. Oh, no. I just know that when I go to fold clothes, because I can only be at 30 degrees, sometimes it's hard to fold the clothes. But static. I actually don't dry these. Jim does like low heat. I guess the low heat in my dryer is probably more heat than it needs. But with these rayon nightgowns, if you dry them straight up, I find that the texture of the nightgown changes and it becomes less soft, which I'm not really a big fan of. But we try. So I want to thank everybody for your response on this morning's video. I appreciate it. I really do. I just know that it's important for a lot of people's mental health and the things that they're going through to see me every day, to make sure that I'm doing okay, to give them encouragement while they're battling their things, that at least I can pick up my camera and do the bare minimum of picking up my head. I have my wash and Jim's wash here. I'm going to fold and vlog until I get tired of either one of them. So what the hardest part I find with doing the laundry like this is finding places to put it. So when I could sit straight up, I can reach across more. Obviously, then I can place it where it needs to be. That's not how you fold these towels. Sorry. I forgot the rack was back in the... I have to tell you, it's really funny, but I've been in severe want of comfort food today. And of course, the overwhelming pain and discomfort that I get in addition to what I'm dealing with when I eat gluten makes me want to not have the comfort foods that have gluten in it. So like, I was kind of like, oh, I could just go for like a devil dog. But my brain instantaneously went like, you'll get more punishment from that devil dog than it'll give you enjoyment. Oh, sorry. More punishment from that devil dog than you'll get enjoyment. So my brain instantaneously went to Knishes. If you're not from New York or some New York adjacent, I want to say, and what I mean by New York adjacent is not just geographically, but like Florida, a lot of the Jewish community in New York tend to snowbird to Florida. So they've brought a lot of their like normal needs and wants down there. So like you can get a good knish in Florida, certain areas of Florida. Same thing with California. There's a large Jewish population there. But a knish is like a potato pancake that has like this. There's different kinds. There's round knishes which have like more of a soft crust. And it's just a potato crust. It's not like a crust that's made out of bread or anything. It's just the way that they prepare it. But yeah, then there's the square knish, and that's the one that I've been jonesing. When my brother passed away, I was doing keto except for that week my brother passed away. I had a couple of days where I was like, I'm just going to have some New York food and I'm not going to really care about carbs. As long as I don't hurt myself terribly in the process. Make sure I was able to drive home and everything still, you know. As long as that was the case, I was going to eat what I wanted to in moderation. Like, basically what I mean by that is don't go to the Chinese restaurant and have 9 egg rolls. Don't go have a whole pizza. I actually never got pizza when I was there. I don't miss pizza as much because part of it probably is the gluten, but part of it is because I was never a pizza snob, and I don't mean to be mean to anybody who is a pizza snob. I'm not trying to be like judgmental or whatever, but I was never that particular about pizza. Like, yes, we had New York pizza as a treat when we were growing up. We would get pizza night sometimes, and it was really a treat. It was really a treat. For some people, it was like, I don't want to cook, it's going to be pizza. For us, it was like, Dad got a bonus, let's get pizza, like that, you know? At least when we were younger anyway. But we had like a lot of Elio's pizza, which is like this frozen square rectangle type situation. It was just like food on a budget, you know. It was, you could get a lot of food for a little bit of money, and that's what we would eat when we were growing up. Elio's used to go on sale. It would be like 9 pieces for $1 a box. And they're 9 pieces, but we used to eat them like they were 3 pieces because each one, like each 3-piece would be like a serving for us, basically. Oh, my brother, when he was little growing up, we did the same thing, so. But it was like, you know, I just was in the mood for comfort food this morning. The oatmeal really took an edge off of it, I will tell you the truth. But I just wanted a knish. And I realized that going through all of this without your family is one thing, but go through all this in a location where you can't get the things that make you comforted when you were home and young and around your family are something totally different. So like, I really haven't had potatoes. Like, when I first found out I was diabetic, I tried all of the different carbs the doctor was suggested, nutritionist actually suggested, and test your blood sugar after everything, and you know, like the 2 hours post, and see what would cause you to have higher blood sugars. And that's what I realized. That is when I realized that the white potatoes, white rice, white pasta, all of those white things were like my enemy. Those were the things that always spiked me. Corn, sweet potatoes, brown rice pasta, even whole wheat bread and whole wheat pasta didn't spike me like like all the white stuff did. You know, if you can imagine, if it was brown, then it was good for me. So, that being said, I didn't really have much potatoes in 10 years. Even when I would make them for the holiday, I would have somebody else taste them for not risk of like potentially being exhausted, you know. That was one thing I was like, try to avoid falling asleep in the middle of cooking holiday dinners and stuff. So when my brother passed away, I went, and my sisters took me to All American Burger, which, believe it or not, I worked down the block from All American Burger for a year, and I never went there. It's kind of wild. But I went there, and they have like square knishes and really good burgers and really good, I want to say they had hot dogs, but I don't think I had a hot dog. I had a burger, and then I split a knish with my sister. And oh my goodness, it was just like home. And I know that's crazy because I was home. Oops, sorry. I know that's crazy because I was home, but that's what it was like, you know. It was my parents were there, and it was just life again, you know, old life. So I've been kind of craving a Knish, which is weird. I looked. I can't find them around here, so it's not like I'm going to be running to get a Knish anytime soon anyway. There's actually not even like a Jewish community here at all. There's no temples or synagogues. There is a mosque. You know, we have a Muslim, Islamic prayer, mosque. Gosh, that didn't really come out right. That was just me trying to find my words. It wasn't me trying to be culturally insensitive. This gets hung up, but it gets turned right side out first. But no Jewish community here. Big Catholic community, huge Catholic community. But no Jewish community also. I probably could find a Knish in St. Louis, but by the time I get to St. Louis, again, I probably won't be jonesing that Knish, so there's that. Sorry, I'm just going to throw all the things that get hung up over there. So what can I have instead? Ow. Sorry, that hurt. My ears do not like the earbuds. But my work likes the earbuds. I'm sure I could probably get a Knish in St. Louis, is what I was trying to say. Even though St. Louis is a very Catholic community, a Catholic city too. It's also very diverse, so we'll see. But I never really tried to see. What I was going to say was the next time I'm going to be in St. Louis, I'm probably not going to want it anymore. I'm not going to be jonesing a Knish the next time I'm in St. Louis, but we'll see. Actually, the doctor talked about Taiwanese food, right? Taiwanese food. She said it's a really great Taiwanese restaurant where she lives in St. Louis. She was dying to try, and I was like, I don't think I've ever had Taiwanese food, to be honest. All the Chinese food you usually have in New York is either Cantonese or Mandarin or Szechuan, mostly Szechuan and Cantonese. Oh, goodness. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting, guys? What are we talking about? Oh, jonesing comfort food. Jonesing comfort food. What else is comfort food that I want? I want some egg drop soup. I can get that here, though. I want egg drop soup. And I think I might talk my family. Jim is doing meal prep for the week. But I think I would like to talk my family into having Chinese food today. I really want egg drop soup. I could go for some chow mein, which is lots of softer vegetables in a not spicy sauce. I feel like that's what I want today, Oh, sorry about that. I also want cake. I'm going to see if in meal prep I can actually make I have 2 brownies left, 2 keto brownies left. But I really wanted to make the vanilla, the keto vanilla cake mix. I wanted to make that. Who makes it? I want to say Duncan Hines. Duncan Hines makes it, right? I feel like Duncan Hines. Not Betty Crocker. And they're really good. I think they're really good. And trust me, I've made homemade keto cake before. And it is so much less work just to buy a box. And I have to tell you the truth, it's not even so much more money because almond flour and those types of things, they cost a lot of money. So you end up home making it and you think it's going to be cheaper, but it ends up not being very cheap. Getting tired. I'm still doing it. just need a little break. I started. I have a little wound at the top of my butt crack. I was asking if it looked like a pressure wound, and Jim said, no, it looks like you actually had like a cut there, and it's like scabbed over. And I did feel it one day when I was wiping, but I had him take a picture because I wanted to make sure it wasn't like a pressure wound, you know. I haven't been sitting up that long, and on a 30-degree angle. I haven't been sitting up that long. Just like I think this is the 4th time, and not even all day. This is only the 2nd. Yesterday was the 2nd time where it was like all day. But it really wasn't even all day yesterday, because yesterday I laid on my side when I was working. So that is a horrible folding job. That one right there. Horrible folding job. I fixed it. Oh, you guys. I really felt like I wanted to tell you some stories the other day. Like, I was thinking about a story about my dad. My dad was like a frugal man. He didn't like change much. And one time my mom was like, you have to get rid of some of those underwear. They're falling apart. And she made like kind of a big deal about it. And he was like, no. He's like, no. He's like, okay, I'll go do it. So he went in the room. He went in his room for like a little while. Came out. And he went to the kitchen. He's like, that's it. I'm doing it. I'm throwing them out. And he had thrown it in the garbage, and it sprang back to his hand. He had taken a rubber band or two and looped it around his finger, or like looped 2 rubber bands together and looped them onto the underwear. When he threw them in the garbage can, they bounced back into his hand. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And he used to make my mom laugh so much. But I know they also had their issues too. But they also loved each other so much. Sometimes the issues come with the passion. And it's not abuse issues. It's just like the conflict, you know. My mother loved to travel. My father used to say she has a wanderlust. And my father just wanted to be home. So, of course, that causes issues. Like my mother wanting to go places with my father. And my father just like, no, I don't want to go. So I got used to it over the years, you know. Just they got used to it. This is the way they would do it. She would travel and he would stay home. But then there was the time that we were having Chinese food. And my dad was eating. He had a chicken wing in one hand and a duck sauce in the other. And he was saucing his wing. And all of a sudden he hears crack, crunch, crunch. And the chair broke out from under him. And he's sitting on the floor on his back with the wing in one hand and the sauce in the other hand, totally frozen, just like this. Sitting on his back. My dad had some great stories. My brother was setting mice traps underneath the sink, and my father went behind him and either did something to the back of his neck, or I don't remember what he did, but my brother jumped like 25 feet and hit his head underneath the cabinet. Just like something you'd see on TV, you know. My dad was great. My mom was great. My mom was the person that you always wanted to have at your party, because she'd get on a chair, drunk or sober, and she'd sing at the top of her lungs. And that's what I became when I would go to people's parties. I'd be like, that's it. If this party doesn't have a life of its own, I will infuse it with life and make it. I never really wanted it. Well, I never really wanted to. My intention was not to make it about me. It was just to make the party, basically get the party started. I want this party started, right? You want this party started quickly, right? So that was my mom too. My mom was like, this party stinks. Let's get up, play some music, and do something, you know? She also was extremely crafty. My father was too, but my father was more like artistic. You've seen his carvings and stuff. My mother was like, take the silly putty and the glue stick and make some weird. I just did pick 2 random things, but she can make something from nothing, basically. She made an award-winning, it won an award at a contest, cowardly lion costume. She found a coat at the thrift store with like a fur collar, and she the coat was like camel colored, and I made the tail, and we had a little piece of fur that we put on the tail. We put wire in the tail so it would have life of its own. It's what she could come up with, you know. She was that kind of crafty. She's amazing like that. I'm glad she has her babies back. I'm just saying. I'm not glad that they're not here, but I'm glad she is with them. So, stories about me. When I was 4, there was a hole in my floor of my bathroom. Basically, my parents bought a model home, and the flooring was not done properly. It was done to the bare minimum of putting down hardwood floors. They were never treated, and they were in every room, including the bathroom and the kitchen, which we know now. Unless you're going to treat them with something, don't put hardwoods in the areas like that, right? So the house was 5-6 years old at the point where I fell in. Because I think the house was a year old before my parents actually bought it. Because I think it was a model for a year. And they bought it in 65. And we're talking about 1974. So 9 years old. The house was about 9 years old when I was 4. And the wood had worn on the other side of the threshold of the bathroom. My mom had a rug down on it. And we knew we were supposed to step over it. But I was 4. Went whoosh, and I was in the basement with my arms stuck outside of a hole. Help me! Oh my Lord. Things like that. I put on my dad's winter snowsuit. My dad had a hunting suit. He had a wool, red and black buffalo check, like a real from Woolrich, like the real one. And I put it all on in layers, and I went out. And I don't care what anybody says. I laid in the snow, and I called my sisters because I thought it would be funny that I got stuck in the snow. And they just were hysterical. And to this day, they're like, no, you fell over in the snow. I'm like, all right, we'll just say I fell over in the snow. But I tried to just make them laugh. I just laid down in the snow, and I was like, falling, and I can't get up. I feel like that was about the time the Christmas Story came out. And I was wondering if that was when the little brother was all filled with clothes or whatever. I think everybody was interested in that, you know? But, gosh, so many stories. Maria Gooley's mom used to bring me in the house for breakfast. I used to go to the bus stop in front of their house, and I would be so early because there was no food to eat at my house. And she'd invite me in, and she'd give me breakfast. And it didn't happen every day, but it happened often enough, and I was very grateful. So Maria, if you're watching this, which I doubt, or your mom, if she's still around and she's watching this, just thank you. I think I saw her when I was at the orthopedist, and I said thank you to her. But I just, thank you. It meant a lot to me. And I had a lot of trauma, and I had a lot of traumatic stories. Like, all the way leading up to Halloween, everybody used that, like, colorful hairspray. When I was in 7th grade, everybody all used that colorful hairspray. And I didn't get any because I didn't have any money. You know, we didn't have money. And my brother bought some to do his Halloween costume. The next day, I put some in my hair, thinking, like, everybody's going to still be wearing this, right? And when I got to school, everybody made fun of me because I still had it in my hair. And I just put it in my hair. I didn't still have it in my hair. And they were like, oh, what are you doing? That's it. Halloween's over. You know Halloween's over, right? And maybe to this day, that's why I keep Halloween decorations up till Thanksgiving. Who knows? trauma does rear itself in just different ways, doesn't it? I'm going to go back to folding. But I feel like I have a million stories to tell. I almost wish I was a writer sometimes, because I'd love to write a book. When I was in elementary school, when I was in 4th grade, I started to go to GT, which stood for Gifted and Talented. And we had to put on a performance. We had to do a book review on, a book report on a famous person in history. And we had to put on a performance about them, or, and I did Annie Oakley. And I sang a song from Annie, Get Your Gun by Ethel Merman. Anything you can do, I can do better. Yes. Anything you can do, I can do better. Yes, that's right. I often get the potato, tomato song switched around in my head. I don't know why. I don't know if I did that for another performance or something. I don't know. Or that was maybe going to be a choice. I don't really know. But I actually, my mom, we talked about my mom, right? My mom made these like I had suede hush puppies. That's what I wore for 7th grade sneakers all year. I had suede hush puppies. They had rubber soles, so I was allowed to wear them for gym. And she took this like brown felt and she made like boot shafts with fringe. And she had a friend who lent me a leather, like a suede fringed vest. And I had a cowboy hat. I don't know where the cowboy hat came from, now that I think about it. I don't know where the cowboy hat came from. But I took my dad's shotgun to school, which of course now is against the law. But, it was a double barrel shotgun, just like Annie Oakley would have had. And I did my little performance. Now, my family was there, and I looked over at my family, and they were left giggling at me, and I was like, started to giggle then, and I lost it, and I became the unexpected hit of the show, to the point where I heard rumor, a 7th grade rumor, 4th grade rumors, is that there was a kid who was supposed to do like be the comedian. He was doing King Tut's, Steve Martin's King Tut, because he did King Tut as everything. That he was upset that I really got all the laughs. But I don't know how true that is. But if you, if you know if there's any footage of that, because I thought we recorded it, and I don't know. I thought the school recorded it. But I would love to see it. Gosh, because I never actually got to see it. When you're in it, you don't get to see it. See everybody's performances during rehearsal, but it was a lot of fun. Also in 4th grade, I was in the play, the middle school play. We were the Dog Patch gang, and Little Abner was the play, Little Abner, and we were in the Dog Patch, the 4th graders. We had to sing Jubilation Tea Corn Pone. Such an inappropriate song for 7th graders, but such an inappropriate context, but especially for now, but for the time. I mean, it was at the time too, but just people weren't as culturally sensitive as they are now to other people's. I didn't mean to say it like that, but because what I mean was we weren't aware of the sensitivities that people have about their culture, and being, people using their culture for nefarious uses that might make them feel bad and stuff like that. Like, everybody knew what made them feel bad. Nobody really cared what made other people feel bad. That sucks. I think that's one of the reasons I got bullied so much when I was younger, is because I don't think any of the kids realized that I was a person. That didn't sound right, but that's what it feels like. That I had feelings, and hopefully they do now. Hopefully kids like me had trauma so that kids today will have less. And I know kids like 10 years ago had it the worst, because that's when the internet was like, you know, let's be cyber bullies on the internet, and let's pick on people who we can't see, and we can make fun of them because we have low self-esteem and we have terrible lives ourselves. So we're going to make sure everybody else has a terrible life, because that's really what it's all about. I don't know if you know that, but that's really what it's all about. But anyhow, I got very nostalgic today, as you can tell. Good and bad, you know, for the good and for the bad. So I hope that things will be better tomorrow. You know, I hope that I feel better tomorrow. If I don't, I'll be in bed for a while, which is good because I'll be in bed for a while anyway. Because Jim is starting his first day at work tomorrow. I was hoping to feel good enough today to get out there and do some meal prep. And hopefully I will feel a little better here in a little while. That's the plan anyway, you know. Feel a little better in a little while. But meantime, thought we would just catch up and have some story time. And do some things. Because you got to do some things. Even when you're not feeling good, if you can do some things, you can count it off as a win, you know. So you can't do all the things, but you could do some of the things. And sometimes some of the things is just washing your face, brushing your teeth, taking yourself to the potty. Sometimes that's just enough, you know. Sometimes you can't even wash your face and brush your teeth, but you take yourself to the potty. Whatever you can do for yourself, count it as a win. Chalk it up as a win, right? I think that's what we need to do. Okay, let me get last two things. I think this is the last two things that I fold. It's very hard to fold in 30 degrees, but hey, I'm managing and I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh, he dried my Hello Kitty t-shirt. Watch out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's okay. We love it anyway. Any day. Divorce. Okay. What movie was that from? Do you guys know? Yes, that's right. It was from Breakfast Club. Molly Ringwald said it when she was talking about her parents. Who would you choose to live with? I'd probably live with my brother. And she says, my mom and dad don't get along because like any day, divorce. Anyhow, all right. As I fold this last pair of underwear, because I can't reach that last dish rag, I will have to say, if nobody's told you today that you are loved, please remember that I love you. And if there are ever days when I can't make it here, go back and watch an old video to remind yourself that I love you. Because whether or not I can tell you, because if I'm not feeling good, I will still know that I love you. And you guys are my motivation for setting up the camera and having a chat. And I really appreciate it because it's better than therapy. Because it's free. Oh, my lips hurt. They are so chapped. You guys see? Satin lips works really. Here's the thing, and I tried to tell this to my doctor. Yes, it's winter and it's dry. This girl never has chapped lips. Only before I'm about to get a cold. Because my sinuses get clogged, I breathe through my mouth. That being said, yes, my sinuses are clogged today, but the chapped lips have been for weeks. It's part of the mouth irritation from the chemotherapy. I did try to tell him that this isn't normal for me. Just to continue, and he said Vaseline works great. And I said, the nurse practitioner, Dr. S, said, I call her Dr. S, said, don't use petroleum-based products, use She likes Burt's Bees. And he was like, no, definitely not for the inside of your mouth. I was like, no, not the inside of my mouth. Burt's Bees doesn't go inside your mouth either. But Satin Lips is the best. I do the treatment at night, and then I put on the Carmex, the medicated stuff, during the day, because this actually started to bleed this morning. The scab came off, like the skin came off. So painful. Chewing gum helps with my mouth. It hurts the first couple of pieces to put in and break up that outside candy coating. And if I got a different gum, it probably would be as good too. So I'm going to look out for I feel like Hubba Bubba is not coated in candy. But it is sugar-free now, so. But what it does is it not only activates the salivary glands, but it also when the gum just sits there, it keeps my teeth from rubbing against my sore mouth and such. So it's why I tend not to talk as much normally during the day. You guys wouldn't know that because when you turn on the camera, all you do is hear me talk. But it's why I tend not to talk as much during the day. So I'm going to go now. Don't forget I love you. I know I already told you that, but I need to tell you again. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for helping me fold laundry. Bye.